Hi, I'm Donald McIntyre, Senior Editor at the ETC Cooperative. This is the Ethereum Classic course, Class 18, the difference between wallets and addresses. Migrating from traditional systems to use the blockchain is not only a change in paradigm from centralization to decentralization, but also a change in terminology and nomenclature that may be daunting and confusing. In previous classes, we have learned what are private and public keys, how they work in the context of the blockchain industry, and how crypto assets are held under them. In this class, we're going to go to a higher level and explain the big picture to give a more general view of what component is what. So to explain the difference between wallets and addresses, we will describe four related concepts. What are blockchains, accounts, addresses, and wallets? What are blockchains? A blockchain, as Ethereum Classic, is a network of computers around the world that share the same database, or what we call a chain of blocks, or blockchain, which contains accounts, balances, and smart contracts. Note that we wrote accounts, balances, and smart contracts. This is because the database is structured like a ledger that tracks the credits and debits of money in the accounts and keeps their latest balance. The ledger also contains a space to store software programs that, when sent to the network, are also replicated and shared across all participating machines, hence they become decentralized as well. The blockchain is the higher level concept in this explanation. It is the system that contains the accounts, crypto assets, and smart contracts. What are accounts? The number inside the blockchain that groups and under which our crypto assets are held is called an account. Accounts on a blockchain are similar to bank accounts because they are assigned to us and used to list our assets. However, as we explained in our previous class, to call these numbers accounts is a misnomer because a bank account is really just an entry in a ledger fully controlled by the institution that shows what they owe us, but they are not actual digital property that we exclusively control. Because of how public key cryptography works, these accounts are structured so that they are large numbers, usually between 30 and 64 characters. What are addresses? The accounts on a blockchain are also called addresses. They are exactly the same. However, to call the accounts addresses is much more accurate because they are more akin to physical locations where we may hold, possess, and control objects or assets. So, the same number on the blockchain where we hold our crypto assets may be called account, address, or even public key, as technically it is the public key that corresponds to the private key, as we learned in the previous class. What are wallets? Now that we have explained what are blockchains and addresses, we can now understand what is a wallet. A wallet is an app that you may have on your phone or computer that may be used to see and manage your addresses and smart contracts or decentralized applications or dApps on various blockchains. Sometimes people confuse these terms and refer to their addresses on the blockchain as wallets, but it's more appropriate to call them addresses and to refer to the external apps on our devices that we use to manage them as wallets. Popular brands of wallets in the market are MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and Exodus. These apps contain our encrypted private keys, and from them we can send and receive crypto assets and check our balances. Putting it all together. Wallets such as MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and Exodus are external to the networks and may have the ability to connect to several blockchains. Blockchains like Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin, and Litecoin are networks themselves and physically contain our addresses and crypto assets. Addresses are inside blockchains and are the numbers under which our crypto assets are grouped and held. Crypto assets are the native cryptocurrency, tokens, or NFTs that we may have under our addresses. So the wallet app is an external app. It's an app that you have in your phone and in your computer, just like you may have a browser, or you may have a banking app like Citi, for example, and from there you manage your account. So you can have your Trust wallet, for example, or Exodus, and inside your wallet you may have several blockchains. You may have activated or have enabled Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin, and Litecoin. So the wallet is an app from your side where you connect to the blockchains, the different blockchains. And then inside each blockchain you can have addresses. For example, this is an address for Ethereum Classic. This is an address for Bitcoin. This is a different format, and this is an address for Litecoin. It's a different format as well. And then under each address, which are inside the blockchain, you may have your crypto assets. For example, ETC in ETC, BTC in Bitcoin, and LTC in Litecoin. So this is how we put all together all these concepts, and are very different to how we're used to, because in the real world we use banks, and we have bank accounts, and we have our balances there of money, etc., and they work differently. So people many times have confusions about all these things, but this is a way of putting it all together and clarifying the concepts. This is another way of doing it. From another angle, and continuing with the analogy of the banking system, the different components we explained in this class may be comparable like this. Wallet apps are like banking apps on our phones, as I said before. Blockchains are like the banking system, because we don't deal, from our apps, we don't deal with banks. We don't connect to banks and their private servers where they control everything. We connect to public systems, which are these global blockchains, global networks that are permissionless and censorship resistant. Blockchains are like the banking system. Addresses are like bank accounts. So just like we have, let's say, an 8-digit number inside a bank account, and there they put how much money they owe us. In a blockchain, we have a 30 to 64-digit account, and there our crypto assets are listed. But we have tangible control of those, unlike the banks where they have control. And crypto assets are like money we have in our accounts. So banking apps are wallet apps, and analogous to wallet apps. The banking system are analogous to the blockchains. This is why the blockchain disintermediates banking and eliminates trusted third parties, or minimizes trusted third parties. We depend much less on trusted third parties by using blockchains. Therefore, banking crisis and all that can be significantly reduced, and all sorts of risks that trusted third parties have. Then the accounts are the addresses, or the analogy are the addresses. And the currencies that we may have in our banks, like the US dollar in America, or British pounds in the UK, or yuan in China. On the blockchain we have ETC, Bitcoin, and Litecoin. The overwhelming importance of private keys. As we also explained in our previous class, the major paradigm change in the blockchain industry is that wealth is now held and controlled by owners directly, rather than by trusted third parties. This means an enormous responsibility, because the private keys now have become the only way to possess and control our assets. If we lose our private keys, then it is very likely that we may lose our crypto assets for good. Hence, it is very important to store and manage our private keys as securely as possible. So as I explained in the previous class and in the first class, this is the private key. This is secret. You and only you have it in your possession, and nobody else has it in the world or in the universe. Through a cryptographic mathematical function, your address on the blockchain is generated. So this private key is linked to this address, and it's the only private key and way to control your address on the blockchain. This address is public, and under this address you have your crypto assets. So if you lose this, then you lose this. So this is why this new paradigm, which is decentralized, transfers to you your wealth and control, but it also transfers to you the responsibility. Big power is big responsibility. Thank you for watching this video, Ethereum Classic course, class 18, the difference between wallets and addresses. If you want to learn more about Ethereum Classic, please go to ethereumclassic.org. Thank you very much.